Good morning, everyone. Today is a Hasidic holiday known as the 19th day of Kislev, which is the day that the founder of Chabad Hasidism was liberated from Tsarist Russia. And the Alter Rebbe was a disciple of the Maggid of Mezrich, who was a pupil of the Baal Shem Tov, who was the founder of all of the Hasidic movements. And the purpose of Hasidism, which is founded on Kabbalistic teachings, can be illustrated through a story in this week's Torah portion. In this week's Torah portion, Joseph is falsely imprisoned in Egypt. And there he sees the butler and the baker of Pharaoh one day looking sad. And he says to him, "Why do your faces look downcast?" And they say to him, "We had disturbing dreams." And right then and there, Joseph says, "Well, dreams come from God. Tell me your dreams and maybe God will give me the interpretation." And after he successfully interprets the dream and tells the butler that he'll be restored to his post, he says, "Please tell Pharaoh that there's a Jewish boy who was abducted falsely and imprisoned here in Egypt from the land of the Jews, the land of Israel, the land of Canaan, and he should remember me and take me out of this pit." And here we see that Joseph, in the darkest place in Egypt, in a prison, falsely accused, instead of being bitter and angry at the world, shows compassion and love even to ministers of Pharaoh, and is concerned about their well-being, and then says, "God interprets dreams, and tell Pharaoh that there's a Jewish man here who was falsely imprisoned, taken from the land of the Hebrews." He stands as a beacon of light in the middle of a dark prison with his faith in God and his proud Jewish identity. And that's what the teachings of Chassidus is here to do. It's here to ignite our souls with the light and the passion of faith in God, of love for our fellow man, and to illuminate the darkness of the world. You know, the whole world is praying for the wife of Rabbi Fetterman, the Rebbitzin from the Virgin Islands, from St. Thomas, who his baby fell into a canal and she jumped in, and tragically the baby died, and unfortunately she was pulled out of the water unconscious and now is in a hospital in Miami fighting for her life. And there are a lot of stories about the Fettermans that have been coming out. And one was that there was this man who was on a cruise ship with his family, and he arrived at the port in St. Thomas and got off the cruise with the thousands of passengers. And when he was going on to the mainland, he sees a rabbi with a table who stops him and says, "Excuse me, are you Jewish?" And he says, "Yes." He says, "Well, you know, we're in the middle of the holiday of Hanukkah. Would you like a menorah?" He says, "How much is it?" He says, "No, there's no charge. I just want you to light the menorah." So he said, "Thank you." He took the menorah. He went back onto the cruise ship, and he said when he got into his cabin, he promptly put it on the shelf and forgot about it. But that night, his daughter, 6-year-old daughter, says, Daddy, when are we going to light the menorah?" And he says, "Oh, right, we have the menorah to light." Well, his daughter really wanted to light the menorah, so he started to set up the menorah in the cabin. And his daughter said, No, Daddy, my teacher in Hebrew school told me you have to light it in a public place so everyone could see it. We have to go to the cafeteria and light the menorah there. He said he was really embarrassed to take it to the cafeteria, but his daughter was insisting. So he went up to the cafeteria, found a quiet corner, set up the candles, made the blessings from the pamphlet that was in the box of the menorah that he got from the Rabbi Usher Fetterman. And he, with his family, stood around the table, chanted the blessings softly, and lit the menorah. Suddenly, some other Jews on the cruise ship started to come over to the table. "Oh, it's Hanukkah. Can we join you?" Suddenly, there's 5 people and 10 people all celebrating menorah, and even non-Jews started to come over to ask about the holiday. And then other passengers said, I also got a menorah from the rabbi. And he said, before you know it, people were going to their cabins to get the menorahs. And before you knew it, he says, there were about 40, 50 people standing around the table with over a dozen menorahs lit on the table. They were all singing together the songs of Hanukkah, Ma'os Sur, Al Hanukkah, Al Hanukkah, in the middle of the cruise ship. And this man said, little did Rabbi Fetterman realize that when he gave me that menorah, he was not just lighting up my cabin, he was lighting up the whole cruise ship with the light of the menorah and the message and the warmth and the love of Judaism. And that's what Chassidut is here to do. It's here to transform the darkness of the world. When we reveal our inner soul, our passion, our love, our delight in goodness and kindness and spirituality and connection to God, when we can ignite our souls, then we can light up the whole world. And that's why the menorah is lit in a public place, and starting Sunday night we'll light the menorah in our homes and in our windows and in public places. Because the message of this week's Torah portion of Joseph, and the message of Hanukkah, and the message of Chassidut is all one and the same. The message is, take the candle of your soul and keep on lighting another flame until all the darkness of the world will be banished, and the world will be filled with goodness, kindness, and the light of God, Judaism, and the light of holiness. Have a wonderful day.